Video is under this. See sort of the videos. So the names of the movies or the video, like, all the stuff he likes to watch like that on video, I'd put there.
Okay.
And you don't have to, I wouldn't worry about putting every single thing either, because one of the things about this is it's word based. So he could say, like, he wanted to watch a Christmas DVD or a Christmas video. So part of it's called descriptive teaching, because we can't put all the words of everything that he might want to have in here. The other thing is, and I run up against this with kids in my school that I work with, you're doing a unit on constellations, and it's like all these words. Well, when is he going to say the word constellation again? But you could teach him to say, oh, that's a big star. Or a big group of stars, or you know what I mean? So you really think about what's the main thing to know about this thing. Right. And even like, with teachers, it's kind of thinking how to change your mind. So instead of showing a picture of a group of stars and what is this, and the answer is constellation, it might be, what is a constellation? And maybe they say big star or big group of stars. Right. So you see what I mean? If you think about your kind of mind shift about how you ask questions.
And they just started doing some cooking, so I'm wondering if there's some cooking stuff.
Yep. Here's cooking verbs. So the basic verbs are like this is turn. So that's going to be turn. But if I push it once and I see these green things, anything that's green is a verb. So those are called mid-category verbs. It just means if I push it again, then it's going to give me more, the conjugation. So the adjectives that go with cooking are hot, hotter, hottest, and cold.
Okay.
So those are things that you might use when you're cooking.
Hot.
Okay. I go back to cooking, and up here I have some other choices. So here's dishes, appliances, and large appliances. So if I hit that one, I'm going to get, mixer and toaster and blender and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So, and then with cooking, sometimes you get to taste it. So words that have to do with eat are going to be on here. There's taste.
Okay.
So again, I'd pick out a few words and work on those. So if you were going to work on, cooking words, and you're going to work on hot or cold, then I'd try to work on those in other areas too. Like, turning the water on, it's hot, or it's hot outside, or just so that it's not just associated with one thing.
Right. Okay.
Now, sometimes that click, some people like to hear the click. It tells them they've done something. Some people, the click actually can be distracting. So I won't do anything with it now, but if you need to turn the button click off, it tells you how to do it.
I like the click, but I don't know. It's not about me. It's about him. What do you think about JR?
I don't see it being a problem one way or the other right now.
No,
but just
I
to
think
know
it's
that
a
you can
good
do
reminder that I just hit something.
Yeah. And you know about guided access, so that's that. Vocab.
So for every day, keep it on all the vocab, let him explore, and then pick our words that we want to focus.
Right.
And then we can shrink it down and focus on those words.
Yep. Because that is easy to do.
Yeah.
That's easy to do. So
Okay.
And then if you want, you can, they have data logging, and PRC has this thing called Realize Language. It's a service. It's $10 a month or $10 a year, and it is so worth it, because what it does is you connect this through Wi-Fi to your online account, and you can see how much it's being used. So I use that all the time. And in the school system, what it lets me do is, and I'm not doing it to try to catch somebody not using it, but I can go to a teacher and say, okay, I pulled off the data and I noticed there's like an hour where it's not being used. And maybe it's like, well, we had a convocation that day, or that was gym, or, it makes sense.
Right.
Or it might be, I didn't know what to do because we did this. And then I go, oh, well, let me help you. What would be a good thing to say during that time?
Yeah.
So it just is very helpful. And then you can also, you'll get a word cloud, and the biggest words are the ones that he said the most often.
Oh.
So the only kind of downfall of that is we want to model words for him, so it doesn't delineate between or differentiate whether we model or he does.
Okay.
But kind of the way I look at that is, if I still see big gaps, then I know nobody's modeling, and again, maybe it's Jim, or maybe he's sick that day, something.
Right.
But it just lets us know, okay, well, we need to kind of investigate to find out if we need to provide more support or what's going on at that time.
Right. Are they not progressing because they're not?
Yeah, are they not using it because it's in the backpack, or is he not using it because they're doing some art activity, and his hands are all goopy and he can't
Right.
touch it,
Yeah.
So,
That
but
makes
that's a nice
so
thing.
that I can do with the app and his device.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
If you have them both on it, like you'd have to have them set up as different things. Like it doesn't all morph into one. Like you could have one that says iPad and one that says
Okay.
device.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a free webinar that tells you how to do that. But
Okay.
basically, you have to turn on the data logging, which is in here, which tells it that you want it to record all the keystrokes.
Okay.
That's under settings and enable data logging. You just turn that on.
Yeah. Let's
And
keep it on.
leave
Can
it.
we-
Okay. Yeah.
let's keep it on.
Uh-huh. And then that will record. And when you have it set up with realized language once a day, like let's say we did it right now, well then every day at whatever time it is, 6 o'clock, then it would send all that stuff to the internet. So it does it once a day.
Oh, once a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can check on that.
Okay.
So that would probably be a good thing to look into.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it
okay.
tells you about it down here.
Okay.
So
And I forget the actual device. Does it have a stand or what does it?
yeah,
come in?
it has a real